Hello, my name is swissbianco. In this video I will talk a bit about the common and a bit less common bayonets in USA, just what I accumulated so far. So the most common for now bayonet still in USA is the M7. It usually comes with the M8A1 sheet or the M8 sheet. This one is already a plastic version, injection molded ones. The older ones were more fiberglass version. We see that on this example here. It's actually say A1 as well, but this one was fiberglass, so maybe whatever they matched or mismatched. So we see already most of the common problems with the fiberglass ones. That lamination, that fiberglass was not good back then, so many times the tip did break, and that is just a fix up that I made for myself. It works pretty well. It's cheaper than a new sheet, and yeah, it's repairable. But if you can select the bayonet, the M7 always get the M10 sheet, which is a injection molded version, the latest version. It's way nicer to use than the injection molded one, also a bit more compact. So as we go to the knife itself, bayonet like this have basically two parts. We have the large ring here that goes over the muzzle, and the rear part that locks the bayonet handle in place on the rifle, so it's securely mounted on two parts. So basically that has two parts that hold it in place. This is the most complex part of the bayonet. It's made out of solid material with two springs and two moving parts, and basically then riveted on the end of the tang. So that is the part that needs attention if you buy the bayonet, as well as the sheet, that this works. And is pretty loose. Then another part is of course the blade itself. This M7 was by the used as well, and it was completely misused as on a drilled rifle, and I had to reshape it a bit. The point is a bit shorter than usually, but it did turn out really well after cold bluing. And what you also need to do is take off the two parts grip. There are some, like from Icon, that has no screw, that is pressed on from the backside. Usually you see them from far, as that has no gap in between here and here. Those are tough, but also more expensive. These ones are just US made M7s, different contractors, and there were really many. So that's the regular bayonet that is most common in USA, still around. And then we see that already way bigger, the M9. I don't like it. I have this bayonet for I would say since 1990, or maybe even earlier. That it is a LAN K made version of the M9, quite likely an earlier one. I did sharpen the blade, of course. I did not use it much, but the handling and the sharpness that you can get out of it is not too well, and it's too heavy and bulky compared to the M7. We see that of course the guard with the hole for the bayonet, for the muzzle of the rifle, and the backside, that looks are the same, but the rest is not. We see most of the weight is in the blade, of course. Way bigger blade, way thicker blade. So yeah, it's pretty sad. They could have do a bit something in between with a more a grind or a blade shape like the K-bar knife, or similar hunting knife that you have a bit more cutting possibility. But that is how that is. The M9 is still in use today. Price usually higher than the M7. Then we have here another M7, as I did show, with the M10 sheet that is more for using similar condition, similar rework as the other one. And then we have here the first Acorn. They made them in long and short version. I had a long one too. This is the regular version. It's relatively old. The original Acorn company was still in production and working. Prior they folded down, and this was used condition back then. Really different knife, and it's not as heavy, relative thin material, good single side grind, and they basically did go after the Kalashnikov bayonet with the wire cutter, as same as the M9 has the wire cutter. The M7 has more like a dagger appearance, and this is one from a Kalashnikov, a typical one. This one rather untypical, of course, without the hole for the wire cutter, but that is a collectible without this feature. I think it's from China. So if you are on a budget and if you need looking for a knife that is durable, check out the Kalashnikov bayonets with a bit of rework and sharpening. Those can be used really hard. They are military spec, and yeah, you know, that has quite a quality, not like the Chinese cheap export knives that they do. This one is actually made for the military, so it can be used really well. It just needs a bit fix up. And then we have here a knife that I have for a long time. I did not know what it is first, but now I figured it out. The people that know it, they already would know what that is from, and yeah, that part here also give it away, and there is a second part over here that gives it away on the pommel. That is from the old Stoner rifle machine gun. That is original Stoner bayonet, of course, from a Acorn as well. And we see below is yeah, I hope the cameras see it well. There is the Stoner company sign. The Stoner machine gun was way ahead of its time. Unfortunately, it did not make it much into production. It was a great fast firing gun that you could set up in a lot of different ways, and top feed, bottom feed, magazine feed with belts. Of course, you needed to have the different parts and all that for do so, but you could. So the back side, I just pressed in the button there. It actually has a little bit of compartment open there, so you could lock in some parts that goes back in there. like that, and there you see the push button. What exactly was in there, I don't know, but yeah, that was a good find. As I did buy that, I guess the seller and the buyer did not know what it is. I just saw it's an Acorn and pretty good shape, black handle, and yeah, like the other one. And then I did buy it for a deal back then. Now for the last version, also I want to point out it's not a bayonet, it's the Imperial survival knife. You see that belongs to the M7 family. They just added saw blade and a bit of serrated, small serration like a steak knife on the top edge. The rest is the same. We have the Phillips and flathead screwdriver, pommel that you can use for hammering and as a nail puller over here. So that is a rare knife. Somehow they did not make too many of those knives. Yeah, that gives it already away the price. So that was good luck as well. The sheet, I don't know if the sheet was original. I saw online they made different sheets, and yeah, the Schrade company is gone too. Now Schrade, the trademark is owned by other company, and they, in my opinion, did not do too well with it. It's now all made in China, and the other Schrade company, the original, was pretty much made in USA and I think Ireland. I did talk with those people a couple times at the EVA show. I think they were Irish, and then they had the 100-year celebration, and then they went out of business. Well. So if you see one of those, price is good, is original, grab it. If you just need a bayonet for put on the R15 or Mossberg 590 or yeah, any rifle that you adapt, you can buy the bayonet. Yeah, I need to tell you, there is adapters available from Brownells. Basically the part that goes in here you can buy, that has already 2 screws to mount it. Usually I weld it on, or I clamp it. I can quick show that on another gun. It's always good to have the guns handy, even in a video that is not planned like that. We can show. So this is one of the parts that I did alter. We see here that part that Brownells sell. There the bayonet goes on, and you can alter it. This I did alter for the Adams arms piston drive. Basically put it in, but it has 2 holes, so you can screw it on parts. You can weld it on. You can do a lot with it. Adapt pretty much any suitable rifle to hold the bayonet. Some even do the Ruger 1022. I mean, it's up to you if you want to do that. But keep in mind, it's not only the locking part. You need to have a muzzle with that diameter as well. So usually it's a pretty big diameter that is reached with a flash hider. With a flash hider, either a pinned one or you thread the barrel and put the flash hider on. So it's not only this part, you need the front part as well. That works. And unfortunately the US system, the NATO system, is the same. It's like Stanag, it's standardized, but the Russian, the East Bloc system is not the same. Unfortunately, it's really bad that we can't interchange. The Russian system use a smaller diameter, a different locking. It looks similar. It has just one button, not two parts, but it completely doesn't fit with the US one. And unfortunately we cannot interchange or make it fit without too much of a trouble one way or another. So I basically stick with the US versions, and where we get those adapters, those parts for locking from Brownells, relative cheap. So if you wanna mount a bayonet on your favorite whatever rifle, you can do so. You just need to think what kind of bayonet you wanna use.